What is up, guys? And today we're going to be talking about some of the most pointless and idiotic requests for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. And I've seen a lot of them pop up lately. Again, we're talking about those kind of videos, what we want for Xenoverse 3, even though at this point it would be way too late, because even if there was a Xenoverse 3 being made, at this point, the development is pretty much over. You'll be talking about DLC for a Xenoverse 3. But again, I'm just going to make this video because I've been seeing a lot of idiotic requests, and let's just jump into it with the first one being selective lobbies. Now, I've seen people like Seereax, I've seen people like Super Saiyan Cabby, Legendary Negro Saiyan, etc., requesting the ability to have your opponents filtered, so to speak. So people saying that, oh, I want an avatars only selection or a cast character only selection. So these are some of the weakest players in the community. Don't think that sub numbers matter as far as playability or your ability at the game. These are some of the weakest players, especially when you make a request like that. So you want to basically have the ability to cherry pick your opponents and know exactly what they're capable of. And that's basically just like, at that point, you're just throwing up the white flag. I'm weak. I want my opponents to be weak. I don't want them to have an open selection. So basically what would happen is if you had a CAC option, it would be pretty much balanced because you'll have complete freedom over your moveset, what you're able to do. But then again, if you had cast character only option, what is going to happen? What is the first thing that is going to happen? Okay, so I gave you a moment to guess. It's gonna be nothing but Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Hit, Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black. That's all it's gonna be. So it's not gonna help the option. If anything, it's gonna exacerbate the problem, because now people are just gonna pick Hit, and let's say you go in picking, I don't know, Vados. Well, you're gonna get toe up because someone's gonna have Hit, and you're not gonna have the freedom of moveset to deal with Hit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have someone picking Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, and you're going in there with Raditz. What's gonna happen to you? What is going to happen to you? You are going to get toe up. You are not me. You are not Perfection. You don't have the ability to come back and fight back in that scenario like I do. So you're going to get toe up from the flow up, and people like that know that that's what they're going to exploit. Again, cast character options are not good. You just need to get used to playing a variety online. You don't get imaginary points for playing certain characters, so you might as well just play what you want to play. Having people, these kind of people are what ruin the game. I don't want the game simplified for me. I don't want to play against the ace teams even though I have the same option. I want cast character only. Oh, 5 seconds later, hit, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, maybe some Super Saiyan Rose for variety. Just, it's no point in it. So let's move on to the next idiotic request. Now, this has more to do with CACs, and I've seen this in multiple videos. People requesting Super Buu Transformation for Buu race characters, and this is quite obviously the most idiotic, asinine, and time-wasting request that I've ever seen for multiple reasons. So basically, people have been saying they want their Majins to have the ability to absorb people and take on a new transformation, get their moves, blah blah blah. I've seen this from Super Saiyan Cabby, I've seen this from Seereax, I've seen this from various people. So it's not just one person doing this. I'm not saying that they were the ones to start it, but they're the ones to exacerbate the problem in that request. So here's the problem with this. RNG. Obviously, when they make this kind of transformation, they're going to have to put RNG into it. And honestly, they're going to have to RNG. They're going to have to make various models. They're going to have to waste time making umpteen models just to fulfill this request. Let's say you absorb Vados. What's going to happen? Well, your tentacle is going to get longer. You're going to have Vados' top on. I mean, it's too much. RNG, the RNG for it would be too much. They would have to waste too much time doing over 100 models for that feature. just no point. And then we haven't even gotten into the fact that it's not going to be competitive and people are going to complain when they get a sucky ass move slot. Like if they absorb 10 and they don't get Dodon Ray, let's just say the game RNGs and gives you all the moves except Dodon Ray. They give you volleyball, fist, and whatever else he has. People are going to complain and act like that's the reason that they lost. Like, you're lucky that I didn't absorb hit because then I would have won. Like, it's just stupid. It's like that whole absorption thing needs to go. Now, if you were to give people a subclass option to create a Super Buu, like you have Fat Buu, and then you have a subclass for Super Buu, and if you want to change your body type and your moves, you can pick Super Buu right from the beginning and still have like maybe Purification, Potential Unleashed, Kaioken, etc, etc. And then for females, you would have Majin 21's Majin transformation with the tail and the hair or whatever, however they would set that up. That's what I would do, and that's how you could make Super Buu's, quote unquote, Super Buu's work in Xenoverse 2 or 3 or whatever they appear in. But the transformation aspect does not need to happen. It's stupid, it's time wasting, and people would just whine about it. As soon as they didn't get the overpowered moves that they were expecting, they would whine and blame everything under the sun for as to why they lost. So no to the Super Buu thing. Now we're gonna jump right into the next thing, which is Android race. This is the most ass backwards, pointless request in this lineup, and that's why I saved it for last. People have been requesting androids. I'm gonna be honest here. At one point in time, I requested androids, and I'm gonna explain why I requested it. I requested androids because I felt like that would be the only way we would get Super Android 18. And I made a video on it like a year ago, and I said, you know what, it would be cool to have an android race. You could do this, and this to them, and you would get Super Android 18, and she would have, you know, Super 17-esque abilities, but better, yada, yada, yada. And I felt like that would be the only way to get Super Android 18, and it would be a justifiable reason, because they wouldn't just give us a character. They would have to have DLC, and then she would be the flagship character for that DLC. That was my reasoning behind it. But now that I've thought about it, months down the line, there's no reason to have android race. Like, I've seen people like Burcol, Cabby, Seereax make this request, and it is the most idiotic option for CACs, and it's just a waste of time. Because why? Humans already have everything androids would have. They already look like androids. You would just be adding another option to fluff the number of CAC options. Like, oh, well, you can make humans, Saiyan, androids, even though they all look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just no point. The androids are basically humans. Android 18 looks just like she did when she was a human. There is nothing different. Now, if you're making a Android 19, Android 20 type of android, like mechanical mostly, even that would be a wasted option, because again, Android 16, 18, 19, and 20, or Dr. Gero, they all look pretty much human. For the Dragon Ball Z world, again, they look pretty much human. So it's just a waste of a slot. It's a waste of a avatar slot, so to speak. And then I've heard people say, well, we need to limit the drain moves to be special to androids. Like, really? You want less options for the other CACs? You really want to take the drain moves, which, let's be honest, they suck, and they need a super buff. They need like a activation buff and an ability buff, but I'll get into that later. But you really want to limit moves? Like, it just makes no sense. You already have people who whine about Shining Slash and some of the sword moves being limited the same as the humans, but you really want to go back and make the drain moves limited to just one pointless class. Yeah, you seem like a pretty big idiot for making that request. Now, I'm not raining on my fans, because a lot of my fans have thought about this in the same way. I'm just showing you that it's no point in having an android class. Maybe you can increase the amount of created character parts. I've always been a fan of that. And I feel like that should be something that they focus on in the future, increasing the number of parts. Like, I don't want just a couple dozen parts. I want hundreds of parts. And if you add Android 17 eyes, Android 18 eyes, you can already pretty much put in Android 19 skin, but maybe you could you already have the option to have little absorbers on your hands. Like, you put on Super Android 17 arms or hand pieces, and you have the little absorbers, but maybe you can make an accessory for that. But these are all the things that are idiotic to request in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. They serve no purpose. They don't really add anything. It's just like, either they're too convoluted and complicated to add, like the Super Buu thing, or they make you weak, because if you're going to cherry pick your opponents in ranked, it's only going to make you weak. Like, if you put a cast character option only, all people are going to do is pick Hit and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then people will go right over the CACs, and then they'll whine about that. There just does not need to be a limiting factor in that. In fact, I'm going to say this. I would suggest in an update for Xenoverse 2, they need to change limitations and non-limitations. Honestly, I feel like you should have your Super Soul and stuff like that with you at all times, like it was in Xenoverse 1. But then the only difference between no limitations and limitations is, in no limitations, you would have access to items if you want them. But in limitations, you still have your Super Soul, you still have the effects of it. It would make builds seem like, more important, because honestly, I don't like the fact that you can't have your custom Ki Blast in limitations. Like, they just give you whatever is standard for your race. But again, all that considered, I'll make a future video on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have I hit on a lot of things that you've been scratching your head about with these people making these what we want in Xenoverse 3 videos? Have I really debunked a lot of these things? Have I hit on everything? Because I want to be the voice for you guys. You hear these people make these stupid requests and you don't have a voice to really speak up. I want to be that voice for you guys. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Of course, I've been your perfect being and the #1 anime, gaming, and Dragon Ball channel on YouTube. Of course, yes, the name is Perfection. Go ahead, hit that notification bell, because that is so important. Hit that notification bell, get all the updates for the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.